All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're really excited. Congratulations, first of all, for everybody doing the challenge.
Yep.
You have made it to the halfway point. You got over that hump, so good job there. We're excited for week 4. Everybody should know what their, well, actually, because you're on this, you know what your mini challenge is, participating in this. And those that aren't able to because of work or other obligations, we will make sure we send this out to you. But we want to get started. We are going to be talking about fueling for performance tonight. But before we do so, we want to introduce Sue, who is the owner of Valley Keto, who's sponsoring our giveaway tonight. And just give her a chance to kind of talk about why she started her company, what her company's all about, and then we'll do the drawing. So Sue, tell us a little bit about you, what got you into, tell us your background and then what got you into starting Valley Keto.
Okay, my background is, lived in Chicago. I had a catering business and I loved that. And I had an issue with some breast cancer and started doing a lot of research on different ways that you could kill cancer. And I went back to studies even like 100 years old. And the underlying thing kept coming up that you need to really let go of the sugar and the carbs. So as I was figuring out what was going to happen, I decided to drop the sugar, drop the carbs from my diet. And I had to wait about 3 months before I could have my operation. They did say I had to have a mastectomy. And after, so I decided, well, during that 3 months, I'm going to not eat any sugar or any carbs, and we'll see what happens. I ate mostly meat and a little bit of cruciferous vegetables. And long story short, when everything was said and done, they couldn't find any cancer left in the tissue that they had taken out. And I had these, you know, I didn't just, this was Mayo Clinic in Rochester, but I also had biopsies done at UCLA and cancer treatment centers. And they did not, they all said I needed a mastectomy. And they did separate biopsies. So it was there, but after I changed my way of eating, it apparently, you know, made a big difference. They could not find any cancer in the tissue that they took out, which was amazing. But from what I understand and different case studies that I've read, it's really not uncommon. So then fast forward to my husband got a job transfer out to Arizona, and we came running from Chicago. And I was going to open a catering business, but I had been eating keto since my operation, decided that I wasn't going to put any sugars back in my body. So I thought, well, let me try. You know, I'm a chef, I know how to make food. My keto stuff is really good. I'm gonna go to the farmers markets and see if people like them. And that was 3 years ago now, and we have done really well. After a year, I opened a brick and mortar the month before COVID started. So that was just amazing. But we've done fantastic and we continue to grow. We are at the Gilbert Farmers Market, and that's where I met Megan. But we're all over the Valley, plus we have a store in Surprise. The entire store is gluten-free, sugar-free, and grain-free. So there's no cross-contamination for people that are celiac or diabetic.
Yep. And we've all, her and I have both tried a lot of your products and they're amazing. I have your keto bagel every day for lunch.
Yep.
And it's definitely something I recommend to my nutrition clients. I know Megan does too.
Oh yeah.
So we're super excited for this giveaway and to let some of our other members try some of your products. And some of the things that you have, like they don't taste sugar-free.
No, they taste really
like
good.
Your treats and stuff, they're so good.
Yep.
So we're really excited to have you on. So we will go ahead and do the drawing. We had a few less people this time, guys. Come on, you got to push through. Okay, so we're doing two drawings for $50 gift card. Kyle.
Oh.
lying. Kyle.
This is bull crap. You rigged this for Kyle.
No, that's fine. You can rig whatever you want. Rig as many as you want.
As long as I get half, Kyle, I won't rat you out.
Let's see if I can. Maybe you should do the next one, because if it's Sean, everybody will think that I.
Oh, yeah, rigged it. I will make sure not to get Sean's name. I'll put it back.
Yeah, you would put it back. Did I win?
Sean.
I just won.
Oh my
Gift card.
God, you drew that. Congratulations, guys. You guys are the winners of the $50 gift card for Valley Keto. And
Best.
we'll help you pick your some really good favorites. Are you
Yep.
going to be at the Gilbert Farmers Market this Saturday?
Yes, we're there every Saturday, and the gift cards are good at any of our markets. So we're also in Old Town Scottsdale and Uptown, and but you can also take the long journey to Surprise if you'd like to. And I mean, I should say that in Surprise, we also have the Relight electrolytes. So we carry full electrolytes and salt and immunity. We also have barbecue sauces and other things that we don't bring to the market. So in the mood for a drive, we have all of that too.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Sue, I'm buying the whole store with my gift card. Just giving you a warning.
There you go. It's fine by me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, you're welcome to stay on for the rest of the class if you'd like, or you can sign off. It's totally up to you.
Okay, I have some baking to do.
Okay, so we'll touch base about the gift cards later then.
All right, congrats, guys. Have a nice meeting.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations, Kyle and Sean. We'll have to help you figure out what to order there.
Oh, yeah.
You can order it online and then just pick it up at the farmer's market.
Mm-hmm. And their stuff freezes really well, too.
Uh-huh. Yep, I keep my stuff in the freezer. I don't know why this is still on here.
Do you have to like unpin, remove pin? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was off mute. My kids are absolute savages. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started on tonight's topic. Let me know if you guys have any issues with that. So tonight we're going to be talking about fueling for performance. A lot of you are members of our gym, but some are not. We have a big event coming up in the next less than a month, the CrossFit Open. Some of you, this will be your first time participating in the CrossFit Open. Many of you know what this is entailing, and it's a little scary and really exciting at the same time.
I'm so excited.
So before we get started, hopefully we will look through the answers that you guys posted, but hopefully you'll learn something tonight about how to fuel for an event or just everyday workouts. Before we start though, just a lot of you guys have heard me say this before, but at CrossFit Preferred, our main objective is to take a habit-based approach and to not kind of get away from that all or nothing mentality so that we can encourage a lifestyle change and not a quick fix. And by doing that, we're able to see long-term results. And some of you may wonder, what do we do after the challenge is over? How do we not fall back into our old habits or lose the momentum that we've gained through the challenge? And that is where Megan and I specialize. We work with one-on-one with clients of all different backgrounds, all different experiences, and we help you guys reach your goals. And we take that step-by-step approach, and we help you change your lifestyle so that you can see long-term success. And these are just a couple of examples to those long-term success. So we've got 4 of our members here. Some of you guys may know them. We have Clay and Jacqueline, who a lot of you guys, if you come in the morning, you know them. They have had some awesome results. And they're kind of looking for that same thing to happen because we put them through a bulking cycle right before the nutrition challenge to help increase muscle mass. And if you guys know Clay, you know that he is determined to either Well, he actually doesn't care quite as much if he wins, although he would like to.
Yes.
He is determined to get that weight off and see his six pack again. So
Yeah.
you can see in this picture that he was able to, when he first signed up with me, that was his
Mm-hmm.
goal, was to get a six pack, and he got that.
Yep.
And Jacqueline is one of those girls that just has to work really, really
Mm-hmm.
hard at gaining muscle mass, and she eats a lot of food, and her weight kind of stays right around the same, but she was
Yeah.
actually able to see quite a big improvement on her muscle mass gain when we were bulking, and now we're starting to slowly decrease, and we're hoping that she can keep that muscle.
Yep.
And then that middle picture there is Claudia. She comes at 5 a.m. So if you don't come at 5, you won't know her, but she is seeing some amazing results, and she is the definition of consistency.
Oh my God. Every morning, 5 a.m., Monday through Friday. She's awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even with her nutrition, so, a lot of people think, well, do I have to track macros to do one-on-one coaching? You absolutely do not. And Claudia is one of those examples. She does not track macros. However, she is starting to get interested in it, and that's totally fine. It is not the only way to do things. And so, although we like macros because it helps us know how to change things if we're not seeing the results we want, it's not the only way. And if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, that's totally fine. And so Claudia was in an 8-month period, she was able to lose 29 pounds and drop 9% body fat, which
That's
is
amazing.
huge.
That's awesome.
And then this next client is one of Megan's, so I'll let her talk about her.
So the next one is Dusty, and you've probably seen her. She usually is, 5 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Dusty is awesome. She came to the gym. She was with us for a couple months and then decided to do nutrition with me. She came in with, we actually, before we could really start doing a cut, I actually put her through a refeed because she had been cutting for so long. So we put her at maintenance calories for a month, had her eat at that. And I mean, even at maintenance calories, she barely gained any weight, which was awesome. We put her through that for about a month and then slowly started cutting, and she looks amazing. She's gaining strength as well as losing body fat. She's doing a really great job.
Well, and I think if you asked her, I'm not sure if she's on here tonight. Dusty, if you are, kind of speak up a little bit. If any of these people are on tonight, you guys can unmute yourself and tell your own story. But her energy level, has really gone through the roof, and it's because she's feeding her body.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we see in a lot of our female clients, is they've undereat for so long that they're used to feeling low energy. They don't even know what it's like to have a lot of energy from food. And so it's really, really cool to see how we can work on fueling the metabolism to work for us and have more energy and eat more food and actually see results that way. So it's really cool.
Yep.
Before we move on. Oh, so are you on?
Yeah. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, guys.
Is there anything you want to add, Dusty?
Just that it's been so great having the nutrition coaching program, just because I was doing it on my own, but I think I was just so focused on trying to eat like quote unquote diet foods, and having somebody there to have the accountability, but also show you that you don't have to eat like that. You can actually have good food and fit it into your daily allotment. So that's been such a game changer. And it really has made a difference doing these kinds of workouts. You can't have your best performance in these workouts without having good nutrition. I definitely saw that right from the start. So that's also been a really big motivator to stay on track with the nutrition, because you can totally feel a difference when you eat terrible and then go in and try and do one of these workouts.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and something I've noticed with Jacqueline is she really likes to try new recipes. And so she's constantly trying new things and posting about them. And I've gotten some ideas from her. And it's like her food, if you ask Clay, her food tastes good.
It looks good.
They're not dieting.
Oh, yeah.
They're just being mindful in what they eat.
Yep.
And if you don't feel like you're dieting, you can stick to it for a long time. So that's the key there. So one really cool thing about participating in the nutrition challenge is it actually gives you guys an opportunity to do one-on-one coaching with us at our phase 2 pricing. You get to skip our phase 1 pricing, which is $159 a month, and you get to go ahead and jump into the $109 a month phase 2 pricing if you decide to continue on with us after. So it's really cool. It's the only time of the year that we do this.
Yeah.
So it's a rare opportunity. So if you guys, after we do our final scans, if it's not quite where you want to be, or if you're enjoying the accountability and the support, then know that that's an option for you. Okay, so I have a question for you. Think about working out. Have you ever started a workout and felt like you just didn't have enough energy in the tank to finish the workout? I have to tell you that I feel like that's one of the most frustrating things, to get up early, drive to the gym, and then not have the energy to finish a workout.
Yeah.
That's very frustrating for me. One of the questions I ask my nutrition clients a lot is I ask them to rate on a scale of 1 to 5, how is your hunger level and how is your energy level? And the reason I ask them that is because it's super important for me to make sure that they are not feeling low energy and hungry for more than 3 days in a row. We want to see results, but we also don't want to cut so quickly that we can't do our day-to-day stuff. Because what happens when you're hungry? Like, how's your willpower? If anybody says it's strong when you're hungry, you're lying.
No,
Because it's not. It sucks. And so if you're not fueling, then you're not making good choices, both nutritionally and physically. It's just going to be a lot harder to be consistent.
Yep.
So I have a quick story. One of my nephew, he called me about a month ago, and he's like 24 maybe. And he loves ultimate Frisbee. In fact, he called me and he was like, I have an opportunity to try out for this semi-pro ultimate Frisbee team. And they sent me all these workouts to do. And he's like, I have no energy. I'm dying. He's like, I feel like I can't recover. I'm so tired. I'm like taking naps in the middle of the day. I'm so tired. And he's like, he was asking for pre-workout suggestions. What can I take?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, let's talk about what you're eating. And so he walked me through his day and he told me what he eats for breakfast. And then he pretty much doesn't eat again till dinner. So he's eating sunflower seeds throughout the day. That is a habit taught by his dad, who was taught by my dad.
Yeah.
Sunflower seeds all day long. So he's eaten a pretty balanced breakfast, nothing all day long, and then dinner. I'm like, all right. So I helped him kind of get an idea of how many calories he should be eating. And he's a big guy. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Oh yeah.
Probably like 220. Like, he's a big guy. He should be eating a lot of food, and he's young. And so I gave him his food and I was like, okay, I want you to start eating this. And then I didn't hear back from him, so I didn't think he was doing it. And then I saw him at my dad's retirement party a few weeks ago. And I asked him how he was doing. He's like, oh, I feel so much better.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, you don't need a pre-workout. You need to eat food. So your best fuel is food, not a pre-workout.
Yep.
So today we're going to talk about the best way to fuel the day before and during the event and the day after event, and how you can recover. Before we begin, I do want to be more specific about who this nutrition talk is for. So most importantly, you guys, we want you to make sure you're eating whole foods, balanced portions of protein, carbs, and fat, and mindfully eating to reach your goal. So those are the 3 things we really, really try and focus on before we get into like the nitty gritty. Are you eating clean, whole foods? Are you balanced in your protein, carbs, and fat throughout the day? And are you mindfully eating to reach your goals? Then when we talk about fueling for an event or a race or competition, that's when we need to pay attention about like timing of our food and what to eat post-workout and pre-workout. So we have the CrossFit Open, like we said. Tell us a little bit about our Friday Night Lights, how we run that. And because we are doing signups right now too, by the way.
So for the CrossFit Open, we have Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights is so much fun. So the whole day Friday, Thursday night, they release the workout. And then all day Friday, no matter what time you come and work out, we run the whole day in heats. So we still have the same class times. It's just everything's done in heats. And then for Friday Night Lights, it starts at 4 and then ends at 7. We also run all those in heats, and you can come and you can cheer people on. You can just see what it's about. You can do the workouts. If you usually work out at night, then you can come in and do the workout. There's always so many people. The energy is amazing. It's a lot of fun. We have, with each of the teams that we have, we'll have different, like team spirit type stuff that we'll do. And you can show your spirit for your team, pictures, everything like that. It's
shirts. We have shirts that matching colors for the teams.
Yep.
You
It's a lot
don't
of
have to
fun.
be an RX athlete to participate. This is
Nope.
more just about building a community. So we have scaled divisions and RX divisions. We have
Mm-hmm.
an overall male and female scaled and RX winner, and we have an overall team winner for like team spirit. Basically, you get points each week. And this is a 3-week event that starts on February 25th.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, February 24th is when the workout is released.
Yep.
So if you guys want to learn more about it, come talk to Megan or
Mm-hmm.
me at the gym, or any of the coaches. We can tell you more about it. It's really, really fun. But the whole purpose of the Open is the camaraderie, but at the same time, you're going to push harder than you ever did before. I know I always get really nervous.
Yeah, you do.
And I will probably change the way I eat on the days of workouts, just so that I have fuel, because I don't normally eat before I work out.
Yep.
But for the Open, I will, just to have the extra glycogen stores. But during the Open or any event, if you guys are training for a Spartan workout or a Spartan race or any other race, we want to make sure that you're not trying to cut calories during this time. This is not a time to drop calories. We want to fuel. And remember that this is a temporary time. You're not going to be eating at a surplus for forever. So it's okay to eat at a surplus at this time. So another quick story is when I was in high school, we would always, so I played basketball, and we would always have team dinners before our games. And this usually consisted of a very high carb meal with pasta and bread and pizza. Yep. All the carbs the night before a big game. And what happened is we thought we were replenishing our glycogen stores or carb loading, but the reality is that it takes time for your body to turn carbs into glucose, and then again to store it as glycogen. And if you're overloading your system, you actually are turning that into sugar. Yeah. And so you're actually going to feel pretty crummy. With being a 17-year-old girl, I didn't feel the effects quite as much, but now that I'm 41, I'm going to feel that. I'm going to feel those extra carbs for sure. So
The Office did an episode about carb loading, and they were doing like a race, and there were parts where Steve Carell is like, Michael's eating like all the carbs like right before the race, like he's eating like fettuccine, like Alfredo, and he's like carb loading and everything, getting ready for this race. And then at the end of the race, I think he ends up in the bushes like puking or something. So don't carb load. It's not good.
So if you think about eating a high carb meal, how do you usually feel afterwards? And Kyle, I don't want you to answer because I know what you're going to say. Probably pretty tired, right? Like you want to go take a nap.
Bloated.
Yeah. So it's not really actually helping our system. It's overloading our system. So we're going to talk about glycogen stores and the biggest mistake that most athletes make. So glycogen is the storage form of carbohydrates when we eat them. Glycogen can be found mostly in the liver, but as well as your muscle tissue. In fact, glycogen accounts for about 6% of liver's total weight and only 1 to 2% of muscle tissue. So we think we're storing all this glycogen in our muscles, but the reality is most of it's being stored in our liver. And the amount of glycogen storage it totally depends person to person. It's totally dependent on how much you exercise and how much skeletal muscle mass you have. So the more skeletal muscle mass you have, the more stored glycogen you have. The more you exercise, the more opportunities you have to turn glucose into stored glycogen. But when we don't exercise hard, those storage, they don't ever empty out. And so we're not actually storing glycogen for energy. We're storing it as a fat cell for later use. So that's super important to know. When someone uses up all their glycogen store, they experience fatigue, and that can lead to them thinking or hitting a wall and like bonking is another term for that. Yep. So we want to try and avoid that feeling. So there's a fine balance that we need to find. And so when carb loading, this sometimes gives people a free pass to do whatever they want. But like I said before, it takes time to store glucose into glycogen and to also break it down as energy. So there's a better way to do this. Many of you guys have seen this before. This is our plate method. This is what we usually start most of our clients on, and this is what we had you guys start on with the nutrition challenge, because it's a very easy way to balance your it's a very easy way to balance your plate. So when you're building a plate, you want half of your plate to be non-starchy veggies. We want a fourth of your plate to be a lean protein, and a fourth of your plate to be a starchy carb. And then see up on the corner, we see that healthy fat. So that kind of gives you an idea of how your plate should look. We also have used something called the hand method. So the hand method is another way. So like, let's say you're used to tracking food, but yet you're out at a restaurant or you're eating somewhere out and you can't actually track your food. You can use the hand method. So so basically you're using the size of your palm is your protein, the size of 2/5 is your veggie, and then your fat is your thumb.
Yep.
So that's a way to measure that. So if you're looking to fuel for success, first, you use the plate method. That's the easiest way. 3 other things to do when trying to fuel for your workout is drink at least 80 ounces of water, skip the alcohol, and make sure you're getting good sleep the night before. So this last month, I've tried to eliminate sugar out of my diet, and also caffeine, and drink more water.
Yep.
And I have felt so good.
Yeah, totally.
It makes a big difference. I didn't realize what sugar does to me.
Yeah. I feel a lot better too, because with the holidays and everything, all the cookies and stuff like that, and not having any of that, I feel so much better.
Yeah. Well, and then I broke that rule on Sunday and had cookies.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Yeah.
They were good. But it was planned.
Right. Exactly.
So it's fine.
I had an Oreo today.
So let's talk about the morning versus afternoon. If you're a morning person or an afternoon person, it's gonna be totally different depending on what time you work out. Also, if you guys do the Friday Night Lights, if you normally work out in the morning, I suggest still coming to a morning class, and then just come in the evening to support and cheer on. It's kind of fun to just be the one on the sideline, or to be a judge or something like that. It's a lot less pressure. So, but if you like to work out in the evenings, we'll make sure we cover that for you guys as well. So morning workouts. If you normally don't eat before a workout, this might be a good time to try eating. Try and find foods that are high on the glycemic index, but pair it with a protein. So foods that are high on the glycemic index tend to be a little bit higher in natural sugars, and they will spike your blood sugar faster. So like applesauce, bananas, yogurt, things like that. But if you pair it with a protein, it's going to keep your blood sugar from spiking and then dropping. So you won't get that crash. And so some examples of that would be like some kind of a smoothie or an applesauce, or I like to just do our Driven chocolate milkshake protein powder. And I know you've done this in the past with coconut water.
It's so good. Yeah.
So the coconut water is going to give you some good carbs.
And electrolytes too, because there's electrolytes in coconut.
Yep. So that's probably what I'm going to try, just because it'll stay light. It won't be super heavy in my stomach, because I don't want anything that's going to make me feel gross working out.
Yeah.
And then also you want to try and consume that between 45 and 60 minutes before your workout. So I know that those that work out really early, that might be hard to do. Just do your best. Like, get it in first thing, but right when you wake up. Like I usually will mix my shake up the night before and stick it in the fridge. So I can drink it. I could drink it on the way to the gym, and by the time I'm warmed up and ready to go, it's been 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
And bananas are, those are great too. Having a banana, if you work out at 5 a.m., eating a banana right before you come into the gym, that'll get you straight through that workout as well.
I used to eat those fig bars.
Those are good.
So half of a fig bar, that did it for me too.
Yep.
But do try and avoid trying new foods right before. We want to make sure that our digestive system works well and it doesn't mess us up. That's a nice way to say it.
The worst is an upset tummy when you're going in for a workout.
And I usually get pretty nervous, so my stomach's already upset.
Same. I dream about it all night long. It's bad.
And then also we want to avoid fats, because fats will slow down the digestive process, and we want to make sure that we're getting those that energy quickly. So let's talk about those that work out in the evening. Normal, just eat normally throughout the day, protein, carbs, and fat in your breakfast and lunch, and then make sure you're snacking between two. So like what I would suggest is breakfast, snack, lunch, snack.
Yeah.
Make that afternoon snack something that's high in high on the glycemic index and pair it with a protein. So the same way someone in the morning would have, do that for your afternoon snack. So again, applesauce or mixed with protein powder or half a banana and a protein shake, something like that.
And switching and making sure that your breakfast and lunch have more of your fats in it, so that when you get to that pre-workout later in the day, you are doing mainly carbs and protein, and then keeping the fats earlier.
Yep. So first, don't try anything new on the day of an event. Stick to foods you know. If you're interested in new foods for performance, maybe try testing it out the week before. And then second, everyone loves to ask about pre-workout. And first of all, pre-workout, I would not recommend if you've never done pre-workout, but think about what pre-workout does. It spikes your heart rate. It feeds your adrenaline. So if you're going into a workout that's going to be a high intense workout, but you're starting already at a high intense heart rate, and you're nervous, so your heart rate is already up, that's not going to feel good. No. So I would skip the pre-workout unless it's something like a heavy lift. I agree. And then you can, but again, try it before. So like I know Megan does beta alanine before her lifting, but it's the other one. Megan Myers, but try it a couple weeks before. Don't try it the week of. Coffee's mine. I drink coffee in the morning. And works pretty well. So we discussed the day before our workout and the day of. So what does the after look like in regards to our intake for recovery? So the after can be different for everybody, and you kind of just have to find what works best for you. For me, it's a protein shake. So I generally don't eat before, but I'll eat after. So again, like I said, the driven chocolate milkshake mixed with almond milk, and then add a carb like coconut water, banana, or even dextrose, which is just like a powder that you can put in your protein that is going to be straight carbs. But the other option is to make a smoothie. I love our Clean Simple Eats protein. There are so many different flavors, and on the back of every bag is a recipe for a smoothie, and they are so really yummy. Good. So that's another option, because most of them will have about 30 grams of carbs in it. So if you make that smoothie, you'll have a pretty balanced. They're pretty balanced. So that's a good option for post-workout. Yeah, the smoothies are great. I've been really into making smoothies after my workout, and it's perfect. I work out, I drink my smoothie afterwards, and it usually holds me over because I have about a couple hours before I go home and actually eat a meal, and it's good. And you do want to try and get that in between 1 and 2 hours after your workout, so that you have that stored glycogen for the next day. Window of gains. You don't want to lose your gains. So for those of you who love your post-workout treats, like donuts and pizza and all the yummy things, we do, obviously there's a time for that, but just pay attention to how you feel when you eat those kind of things. We still want to focus on good quality whole foods. So although that is probably the best time to have a donut or something that you wouldn't normally have throughout the day, we also want to make sure that we're limiting, like when we're hungry and our blood sugar's low, our bodies are telling us to eat whatever it takes to get your blood sugar high. But the problem is our mouth works faster than our system does. And so we end up overdoing it, and we will get that big rush of glucose, and then we crash afterwards. So again, pairing this with the protein is going to help. So I'm not saying don't enjoy it, but just moderation. Be mindful. Half of the people on here are like, we don't know how to do that. So it's also super, super important, guys, to be consistent. Consistency is the name of the game. It is the one thing that's going to move the needle well, not even the fastest, just it's going to keep that needle moving. So find something that works for you and just stick with it. And long term, it's going to pay off in the end. There's no such thing as a magic pill, guys. No. But if I had to tell you one thing to stick to, it would be just be consistent. Find something that works and consistently do it.
Yep.
All right, so we've recommended protein shakes. And a lot of you guys are wondering what kind and if there's a difference between them. There is a quality difference in protein shakes. If you have a sensitive stomach, you will know that because there's definitely ones that I can't have. The
Same.
driven protein works really well for me. I don't have any sensitivity to that, but I can't drink like the protein from Costco.
Yeah, no, me
It
neither.
messes with me bad. And so there is a quality in protein, and that's why there's a big price difference in protein. The way that the driven and the Clean Simple Eats is processed is through cold press. And so the proteins are not denatured, which means that it's going to be absorbed into your body instead of peeing the protein out. And it's going to be easier on your stomach. There's also 0 added sugar in those 2 proteins. So it makes it so that you don't have those weird effects from added sugar. So if you haven't tried it, if you are part of the nutrition challenge, if you guys don't know this already, you do get 10% off of all our retail area during the nutrition challenge. So pick up something on your next time in the gym. The Clean Simple Eats, my favorite one is just the chocolate brownie. And then we've tried the peanut butter chocolate and the cookies and cream and the eggnog.
The cake batter is really good, but we don't have any right now. So never mind.
We also have a
sorry.
We also have a waffle mix that's awesome.
Oh, that one's really good too. Yep. And you can do, we've made the skillet waffle out of that. It's so yummy.
It's like a lemon blueberry like pancake,
yeah,
Dutch oven. It's so good.
It's really good. And then you can also, we posted probably about a month or so ago of crepes using that same stuff as well, and they're amazing.
All right, so the day after your workout, just stay consistent with your protein, carbs, and fat intake, and make sure that you guys are getting plenty of water and taking a rest day. So you may be tempted to go back into the gym or go for a run or do something, but just make sure that you know that the recovery process is going to happen a lot quicker if you take time to do that. So making sure you get good sleep, that's when our bodies recover. I'm drinking lots of water to flush out the lactic acid.
Stretch, make sure to stretch.
We also recommend omegas or even collagen will help with your joints and recovery. So make sure that you're getting some of those things in. Oops. All right, so we're going to go over 3 principles that we follow, and then we'll wrap things up. So most important thing is to just make sure you guys are adding more whole foods into your diet and eating on the outside of the grocery store. So that's something we try and do, and limit your packaged foods. This week's nutrition habit for the challenge is to look at food labels and look for added sugars. There's sugar in everything.
Yes, and it has different names too. It doesn't always say sugar on it.
So we're looking at added sugar. So if you're looking at a food label, we're looking for added sugar. So I noticed that the peanut butter that I buy for my kids has added sugar in it, even though it says natural on it. So that's fun. No wonder they like that kind.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, there's sugar in yogurt. Yogurt's a huge one. So we like the Too Good yogurt. It's very low in sugar. I also like the ratio yogurts. I've only been able to find them at Walmart.
Bashas has them too.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So those are going to be lower in sugar.
Yep. And high in protein too. The ratio has a lot of protein.
Yep. So if you guys have other suggestions, food substitutions, let us know in the comments and we'll go through them.
One thing too that I've noticed is if you're a fan of beef jerky, read the label, because depending on what type of beef jerky it is, like teriyaki, there's a good amount of sugar in the teriyaki. So read the label. Even original, like no flavor, just beef. There's a brand that Costco sells and it still has like 4 to 6 grams of sugar in it. So make sure to read the labels and, read those sugars.
Yep. And again, follow the plate method when possible. That's going to be your best friend and help you stay consistent, even when you can't track your food. Number 2 is to focus on balancing your protein, carbs, and fat throughout the day. Every meal and snack should have all 3 of those things. If you guys don't know what foods fall into those categories, go back to the Nutrition Challenge handbook that we gave you all through that initial email that you received, and it will give you a list of protein, carbs, and fats. If you don't have that handbook, or if you need me to send it to you again, just let me know and I'm happy to do so. But that's where I started when I first started tracking. Is I just had a list of foods and what categories they fell into. And the more I started tracking, the easier it was for me to just kind of know. And now I'm to a point where I know what category all my foods fall into.
Yep.
So just remember to be balanced in your 3 meals and your 3 snacks. And then the last one is to limit the amount of added sugar you consume daily. The AHA recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day for women and 9 teaspoons for men. And the average American consumes 46 teaspoons a day. And that equals 150 pounds a year.
That's so much sugar.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
But it's not surprising because it's hidden in everything.
Yeah.
So even when we think we're doing good, like this last month when I wasn't having sugar, I wasn't looking at the back of food labels. I just wasn't having treats.
Yep.
But I was still consuming sugar. But it really becomes addictive and makes us feel crummy. And a lot of autoimmune diseases are linked to sugar intake.
Yep.
All right, so now we are going to open up our chat to you guys and see if you guys have any questions that we didn't cover. So I'm going to stop my share screen and then open the chat. So if you guys have any questions, you can type them in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask me questions if there's something we didn't cover. The time is yours. Don't be shy.
Does everybody feel like we kind of helped you with your rating on what foods to grab before you go to do a workout?
Sweet.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we will sign off then. And thank you guys so much for participating tonight. And hopefully you learned something. Again, if you guys have more questions about the CrossFit Open, or if you are interested in signing up, the link is in our bio on Instagram, but you can also talk to Megan and I, and we're happy to kind of give you more information. If you guys have any questions throughout the challenge or anytime, we're always happy to help. And we're excited to see the progress that you guys make in the next 3 weeks. You can do this. Stay focused.
Yep.
You got this. And
Almost
we're
done
for you. All right. Thanks. We'll talk to you later. Bye.